Hey, up next on the MARR Army Rock Show. Happy to have Falling Through April with us. Just saw these guys last night. It's been a little while, guys. Welcome to the show.
Hey, what's up? Good to be here.
So it's been quite a while since we saw you, and I kind of wanted to catch up with you, so I'm glad you had time to follow up after the show with us today. So tell everybody about the tour you're on right now and give them some of the details.
Oh, man, it's been awesome. Right now we're touring with Pop Evil. These guys are so cool. It's just been an amazing ride so far. We're actually on our second leg of the tour. We took a little time off, and we're right back on. It's just awesome.
So give people a little bit more of the particulars, like what parts of the country are you heading to in the next little bit here? I mean, I know you're all over the place, but where are you heading today?
Well, today we're heading towards Dallas, Texas. Like I was saying, we had two different runs. The first one we were all on the West Coast and like upper Midwest. That was really cool, kind of like Nebraska through California, and then now we're going through like New Mexico, Arizona, Texas, Louisiana, Florida, all over the place on the more the south side of the country.
Hey, I had a good time seeing you guys last night, and I picked up your new album, Risks and Rewards. So people may or may not know it's your second album. So tell us a little bit about that album, where it was recorded and produced.
We actually recorded with a producer out of Nashville. His name was John King. We've been working with John now for about 2 years, and we did a 5-song EP with him, and every song on that record is really great. He's a really, awesome producer to work with. Really easy, solid guy.
So, for folks who haven't heard it yet, and I've been listening to it this morning, actually, compare it to the first album, Take Flight, for people. How's it different and how's it the same?
Yeah, man. Actually, it shows a lot of growth for the band. I think our writing and our relationships as a band, it's just so much tighter. We're such a more cohesive unit. It's just great.
It's just a big evolution from where we started to where we are now, and obviously working with John King has really helped us develop a bigger and better sound. And it's just the dynamics are different. And like Jim said, just the relationship between the entire band and how the new album came out is just made a better product.
So I think possibly my favorite song on that EP that I've been listening to is Breakdown, and it's that song, the lyric seems like you're sending a message to somebody. Can you talk a little bit about, if that's the case, who that message is to?
It's funny you say that. Most people don't pick up on the kind of undertone of what that song is about, but that song is actually about I won't mention which band member, but one of our ex-girlfriends, and them kind of hindering, or trying anyway, to hinder our ability to move forward and be more of an obstacle than an encouragement, and how we're not going to allow anyone to kind of hold us back, and we're going to be successful and work hard, and basically anybody that gets in our way, we're done with you. So that's kind of the underlying message there.
Now, looking at the lineup last night, I kind of said the same thing to Smashing Satellites. I talked to them. You guys are sort of like a crossover alternative rock band. Now, playing with a band like Pop Evil, is that exposing you to a whole new audience for you guys?
It's actually been really great. Pop Evil's fan base has been really receptive to us, both, before we started touring with them and the announcement was made, on the online presence. We just got a flurry of, likes and shares and comments, and people were definitely giving us a lot of love, so it felt good. Just immediately hitting the road, we felt like we were definitely getting ourselves into a better situation, and that really transpired. Once we hit the stage too, every show people have just been super receptive, telling us how much they love our dynamics and how different of a sound we have from a lot of the other bands that are out today. And it's a good feeling when you go out there and people are receptive to your music, and they believe in what you're doing as much as you do. It's a really good feeling. So this has definitely been a lucrative opportunity for us, and we look forward to the last couple of shows that we have on this run, and hopefully many more with Pop Evil and some other bands.
That's right, and there's nothing more inspiring than a support system from the fans. Like, seriously, just the people have been so awesome.
Yeah.
So looking back at the tour, as it's starting to, come to a close a little bit here, has there been one memorable show that stands out above the others? Like one, if you guys look back, that's the one you're going to think of, wow, that was a big one?
I feel like everybody, obviously, each individual band member has a show that they probably prefer a little more than the others. They've all been fantastic. It basically all comes down to the crowd, and the crowd has been wonderful every night. Like Dan and Jim said, it's been super receptive. For me, just because I loved the venue. I thought it was a really cool spot. And just the people were just genuinely awesome. I was a big fan of our show in Colorado Springs.
Yeah.
The Black Sheep is where was the venue we were playing, and it was overall just an overwhelmingly phenomenal night. So for me, that was my personal favorite.
I think I'll agree entirely with Dave, and I actually think that probably everybody in the band will agree that was hands down the best show. Not only because the crowd was just on fire, but as a band, we played probably the best that night than any other show. We were just really kind of feeding off the energy of everybody, and the venue was, everybody in the venue was super cool, and the sound was good. I mean, the venue was good. Everything about Colorado Springs, the Black Sheep, it was amazing.
Yeah, and to touch on a question you asked earlier about how, having a Pop Evil, how they have a different sound than us, some of the people were commenting at the Black Sheep on how, that our type of music isn't what normally comes through that venue. So even the fans were pleasantly surprised about how receptive everyone was. And that's really cool, because they're more used to metal bands and, so it was really cool.
So I guess it's kind of, you kind of almost explained this, but I noticed the titles of the two albums seem to kind of reflect your journey, if I'm reading that right. So Take Flight, obviously starting off, and then Risks and Rewards. Is that a fair assessment that that's what those titles are about?
I love this. I think that, it's really refreshing when you do an interview with someone that really gets it and does their research and understands kind of what we're about as a band. Everything that we do in this band, from songwriting to our live performance, everything has emotion and feeling and meaning.
Personal.
And, we're not a manufactured band. We're very organic, very grassroots. We do everything from the ground up, and that includes our songwriting and all the way down to the lyrics. We're all involved in every way possible. You're spot on. Take Flight was, that was most definitely named that for the purpose of, saying this is the beginning of our journey. Let's take flight and let's see where we go. The second record we called Risks and Rewards because everything we've done in this band, we've made some pretty risky decisions. They don't always end up well, but without the risks, you don't reap the benefits, the rewards from it. So we felt like at that point in our career, and with what we had gone through as a band, and the songwriting we were doing, we definitely felt like that was an appropriate title. So you're spot on.
Hey, so I don't want to push you too fast because that was a 2015 release, but are you already working on new music? Are you, even though that one just kind of came out?
Oh yeah, we're definitely, we've been in the studio demoing new material. We're real excited because I feel like, again, we talked about growth earlier, and what we're coming up with now is just, I feel like it's just way better than we've done, and we're so pleased with what we have done, but to know that we can just keep getting better and better and still enjoying it and being excited every day and wanting to offer as much as we can, it just keeps us going, man. It's awesome. It's great.
So I was scrolling back and I saw through your Facebook page and I saw a post about a 40-something hour drive you guys had to do one time to get home. So all kinds of bands do different things to kill time on those long drives. How do you guys do it? How do you kill your time on a 40-hour drive?
A lot of sleep.
Yeah, definitely taking turns sleeping and driving, reading books. Fortunately with all the crazy devices we have now with phones and pads and tablets and video games, all that, man, it's just, there's a way to keep us going and not get burnt out.
Basically anything and everything you can find to kill the time you do. I mean, sometimes you start, making shadow puppets, people start doing coloring books, you never really know, man. It's just anything you can do to kill the time, you do it.
Working on new hobbies. Yeah. And even once in a while we even talk to each other, maybe.
Hey, so, one last thing before I let y'all go. What's in store for the band after this Pop Evil run ends up? What do you guys got planned for the rest of the summer?
Well, it's festival season, so it's we're gonna do a couple of festivals, and the biggest thing for us is getting back into the studio. It's time to hit the recording studio and pick out the songs that we're ready to release and get that next record rolling.
Well, the band is Falling Through April. They're from Charlotte, North Carolina. Go out there and check out their album, Risks and Rewards. It's a real cool record. And go see them on tour with Pop Evil, too. We saw you guys last night. Had a great time. And it was a good time seeing you in person, too, and catching up with you guys. So thanks for being on the show today, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.